I say it to you because if you understand these things, you avoid getting stuck in a victim mentality of thinking, why can't I do this? Why can't I have that? What's up, guys? I hope you're well. Today I want to go over 3 dark principles of success. And when I say dark principles, what I'm referring to is these are the hard truths that a lot of people either don't want to tell you or want to try and sell you something or convince you that are no longer the case, that these are dated ideas. But in my experience, these are truths. These are almost laws in which you must respect in order to gain the success that you are after. And this is in any walk of life, whatever you're trying to achieve, whatever it is that you want. So number 1, the first dark principle of success is a goal is completely meaningless until it's written down. And I'm a firm believer of this, that if a goal simply exists in your mind, if you just think about it and it's something that you want to achieve and that you want to do, and you don't write it down, it's not a goal. It's a dream. It's a wish. It's not real. It's not tangible. There's nothing reachable about it. And not only does it need to be written down, but it needs to be expanded upon. So whether you use the SMART goals principle, which I won't get into today, or any other method, it's not enough to simply write down on a piece of paper, I want to make money. It's not even enough to say, I want to make 50,000. It's not enough to say, I want to be a millionaire. You need to get into it. You need to get specific. You need to be very clear and transparent about exactly what you want, how much of it you want, and when you want it by. Because only once you've got those things in place, can you genuinely start to put together a plan and a strategy for getting to that point. But they are essential. So don't just think of the things that you want. Write them down. And don't write them down just once at the front of your journal or on a whiteboard somewhere. Keep writing it down. Repeat it. If you journal, write your goals down every single time. If you've got a whiteboard, write it down. At the end of the day, wipe it off. Come back the next day, write it down again. If you use digital applications, type out these goals repeatedly. Keep them at the very forefront of your conscious mind and therefore the very forefront of your subconscious mind, so that all the actions that you take in the days, the weeks, the months that follow are geared towards these tangible real life goals. Number 2, pressure is important. Personal pressure is important. When you start really going after the things you want in life, one thing you're definitely going to start hearing, and generally from people who really care about you, is this sentence: you put too much pressure on yourself. It's probably one of the things I hate hearing from people the most, because who else is going to put the pressure on me? Especially if you're going after something for yourself, or you're self-employed, it's your own business, or it's a very personal goal. Who else do you expect to put the pressure on you? The reality is that we have to not only learn to have pressure, but to thrive under it, to use it, to be motivated and manipulated in a way that pressure pushes us towards massive action. It pushes us towards taking steps forward in whatever it is that we're trying to achieve. If you take all the pressure off, if there's no pressure, then there's no drive to do anything. What's the point of doing anything if there's no pressure to do it? We wouldn't do, and we certainly wouldn't gain any satisfaction from it. And that's the important thing to understand. It's the reason why competition exists. There's so many sports and events, and they do it with baking now. But what makes it powerful, what makes it entertaining, what makes it rewarding is that there are winners and there are losers, that there's a hierarchy, that there's a pressure situation. And if you can work and thrive and perform under the pressure, you reap the rewards. If we all take the pressure out, the game itself is no longer fun. The activity is no longer entertaining. So don't listen to people who tell you to take the pressure off. What you need to learn to do is to condition yourself and to manage that pressure. If you look like you're struggling with the pressure, then that just means bad pressure management. You shouldn't be crippled by it. You shouldn't be upset by it or emotionally scarred by pressure. You should be motivated by it. You should be pushed forward by it, not scared of it. It's an ally. It's not an enemy. Pressure, it's your friend. Use it. So number one, you need to write down goals. They need to be real. Number two, pressure is essential and it's there. And number three, you have to pay in full for what you want before you receive it. We spoke about this in a previous video about reaping what you sow, about the farmer and how he doesn't get to harvest his crops and enjoy them until he has tended to them, until the end of the season. A lot of people think that they can start enjoying the successes of things as soon as they start doing them. And they'll convince themselves that they are. They start exercising again and they go, oh, I feel great. I feel amazing within the first 2 weeks. I'm definitely losing weight. I'm definitely gaining muscle. But of course, these things plateau and then you start not seeing the progress the same way you were before. And the same in business. You start a new business. There's a lot of energy behind it at the beginning. And then these things fade and you need to continue to pay whilst not necessarily, at least not obvious to you, receiving anything in return. And it's a really important thing to understand that for a long time, regardless of what it is you want to achieve or what you're looking for, you're going to be doing it whilst A, no one is paying any attention to you and no one truly cares whether you do it or not. And B, no one is going to help you. Understand that it's for you to pay in full before you be able to reap the rewards, before you get to receive the goods. And be comfortable in that fact. Being comfortable with that is going to make it easier for you to accept failures. It's going to make it easier for you to persist when things look like that they're not working. You need to have faith. You need to have an understanding that what you want is delayed gratification. You're not going to feel great about it today. You're not going to get everything you want tomorrow. It's going to come later as long as you continue to pay the piper. As long as you continue to do what's needed right now, what's necessary today and tomorrow and the next week and the next month for the next year, and as long as it takes. And understand that it's not the same for everybody. Don't look to the person on your left or the person on your right and see them having success at a different rate of you and think that you need to change everything you're doing. You don't. But you do need to understand that you will be paying for things up front. So guys, those are 3 dark principles. And I call them dark principles because it's kind of like the tough love. I say it to you because if you understand these things, you avoid getting stuck in a victim mentality of thinking, why can't I do this? Why can't I have that? Because you can have all of these things, you can do all of these things, but it's not as pretty as everyone likes to dress it up and make you believe it is. There's a little bit more to it than what most people will have you believe. And the reason they'll have you believe it is because they can sell you something or push something forward to you if you believe there's an easier way out than the proven path. These things are proven time and again in all different industries, in all different walks of life. Set real goals, write them down, and repeatedly regurgitate them and write them over and over again so that they are permanently imprinted in the forefront of your mind. Understand that pressure is a necessary part of your growth and evolution. You need to feel uncomfortable because that's where you grow and that's how you develop. And the pressure that you can handle today is more so than the pressure you could handle yesterday. And that's how you see your growth. When you look at it in the long term and you see how far you've come, you'll realize that you can handle so much more pressure now than before. You've grown. Pressure is necessary. Okay? And finally, you need to reap before you sow. You need to do the work before you get to appreciate and enjoy the harvest, the fruits of your labor. But the labor comes before the fruits. And don't be afraid of that. And don't think that that means that you're failing along the way, because all those failures are building you up to the path of success. So guys, I hope those things help for you. It's not to put a downer on you. It's not to put any doubt in your mind. It's to empower you to take action for yourself and achieve anything you want with the understanding that it's not going to be all roses. And as always, take care of yourself.